All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon here. Wow, Mark J calling right when I'm doing the crypto talk. Mark Januszewski. Hope you guys have enjoyed your weekend so far. I am feeling much better today. Getting ready for Blockchain Expo this week. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you are listening in from. I see we have Mafuz from Laurel, Maryland. Bethany Gibbs from Seattle. Let me send Mark a quick reply. Back. We'll call that a crypto talk. All right. Brad Gibson, Diana Townsend, Barbara Brown from Vallejo. Good morning. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share a suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on when and how you get started. There's 4 rules I live by to have success in this space. Rule number 1, crypto education is key. It is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get a return on your investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Stay focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you. You have limited resources. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. All right. So let me get my Bluetooth on, and we're going to turn on screen share. Bluetooth, screen share up. See what we're going to go over first. Yeah, we're going to go over the markets first. And if you're listening, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Show appreciation that you're actually learning anything new. All right, on my screen, you should be able to see. We're going to go over $63 billion deleted from crypto in 7 days. And Ethereum drops under $100. Ethereum hasn't been under $100 since I first came into this space. So this is uncharted new territory for me. You know, someone asked me the other day, said, Brandon, you know, I love the crypto space and everything, and I want to be able to teach it like you do, but I don't know as much as you do. Guess what? There is no such thing as a crypto expert. All right, let me say that one more time. There is no such thing as a certified, documented crypto expert. I am a crypto expert because I say so. I started my crypto talks when I didn't know what the heck was going on. Here's what I did know. I know more than everybody else. See, if you have done just a little bit of research, if you have bought just a little bit of Bitcoin, if you have opened up a Bitcoin wallet, if you have moved money around, if you actually even know what coin market cap is, guess what? You have more education and knowledge than 95% of the human population, which means you're an expert. Sometimes I think people overthink things too much. You don't need to wait until you've got it all figured out. How I got what I have is because I learned as I earned. I kept talking. There was no crypto talks that I can plug into before me. I said, I'm just going to do it. I'm learning now. Here's your best experience. Doing it. And by doing it, you can show others. But you have to just do it. Don't overthink it. Talking about one of my partners the other day, and he was telling me, Brandon, man, I went back and I listened to all your crypto talks. Well, listen, if you've listened to my crypto talks for 1 month, you're an expert. In other words, if you've gone through the KGX 45 lessons and understand that those 45 lessons is not designed for you to become an expert. Those 45 lessons is just so you can understand the language. You know what the football field looks like. You understand that there's 100 yards on the field, 10 yards for a down. You understand the rules of the game. Now your education begins. And it begins by you applying that knowledge into experience, by winning and losing. In fact, you're gonna learn more by your losses than you will by your wins. My biggest thing when I first got started is I was scared to get started. Now I was scared. I'm like, I don't know. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't know. There was nobody around to hold my hand. Yeah, I just did it. Jumped off the cliff. Had faith. I stopped thinking. It's like military. They always say, you know, when the shots start getting fired, don't think, fall back on your training. Fall back to your training. Muscle memory. Same thing here in the crypto space. You got this. Don't overthink. Don't overworry. Don't be concerned. Another biggest problem that I also had to, I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent this morning. It's like something's telling me to do this, say this. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'm so conservative in this space is because I know people are listening to me. And I feel responsible for other people. even though as an adult, you are responsible for your own actions. But I know when people listen to me and they follow or do some of the things that I say or suggest, I might feel a little bit of responsibility for the results. I do know if you follow exactly the things that I say, I know what your results are going to be. And most people, or a lot of people, don't do it exactly the same way. They kind of do their own thing, at least a guideline. So I'm a bit conservative on that aspect. But at the end of the day, everybody is an adult and is responsible for their own decisions. All you can do is show them where the water is, but you can't make or force them to drink it. And at times, sometimes we want to hold the cup like a baby, you're putting a sippy cup up to a baby's mouth and spoon feed them a little bit. No. You got to let that go. Let it go. You did what you're supposed to do. Now it's time for them to do what they're supposed to do. And I am living proof that if I can do this, if I can learn, I didn't know nothing about crypto. If I can do this, anybody can. The one difference between me and other people that is measurable is my desire. It's my desire. I just have such a strong desire that I won't allow anything or any obstacle to stop me. I don't care if things are not perfect or not ready or not right, or people not listening or doing what they're supposed to do. I will not let anything stop me. I won't be shook. I have a hard time when I look at men that get so easily shook when one thing doesn't go their way or is not perfectly done, and they stop moving forward. I love that movie, Any Given Sunday. Speech. Life is about inches. And when a grown-ass man won't take that inch because somebody didn't do something they weren't supposed to do right, and they would rather complain, I challenge your manhood on that. But anyways, let's get into why did I go off on that? Let's get into coin market cap. Let's look at what the market is doing today since last night. Let's see. First thing we look at is this number here. Total market cap, 121 billion. It was what, 124 last night? So it lost 3 billion overnight. Bitcoin dominance is up to 54.3%, which meant that $3 billion loss did not come off of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is still hovering at that $3,800 level. It came from the other coins. So I know, just by reading this, you kind of know what the rest of the market's going to look like. It wasn't Bitcoin that took that hit. So let's look at the market more closely. Oh wow, look at that, Ripple down 14%. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash is still down 17% over 24 hours when it was already down. Cardano has a big hit. Monero, Litecoin, all almost double digits still. The market is still in a free fall. VeChain 15, Ontology, any gainers? Linkey, never heard of that. DAI, TrueUSD, Paxos Standard. So only 4 coins, and 3 of them are stable coins in the green. So the market is still pointed downward. Then, I know why I brought that up. It's my conversation yesterday with my boy. Yeah, he'll listen to this later. He'll know I'm talking about him. All right. Next is, let's look at that article. 63 billion deleted from crypto in 7 days. Ethereum drops under $100. In the past 7 days, the crypto market has experienced a drop of more than 63 billion as major cryptocurrencies recorded double-digit drops. Bitcoin, the most dominant cryptocurrency in the market, fell by 12% from 4,300 to 3,800, achieving a new yearly low. At its lowest daily point on fiat to crypto exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken, the price of BTC fell to $3,456. Ethereum, which is currently demonstrating a daily volume that is larger than that of Ripple and Bitcoin Cash, combined at 2.2 billion, dropped to $98, falling to a double digit for the first time since May 2017. Let me go back. Let's look at this. Okay, 37.93, Ripple 34 cents. Ethereum was back up to 109, so it did dip and came back up. Bitcoin Cash 168. This is the lowest it's ever been, or I've ever seen it. 168. EOS, Stellar, Litecoin, Monero. Okay. With Ethereum at $98 and Bitcoin $34.56, technical indicators show oversold conditions for both major digital assets. That's correct. Oversold means I don't have the exchange up. Remember last night I was showing you the exchange between the buy orders and the sell orders? And there was a whole bunch of sell orders. It was oversold. So it had to rebound. At 34.56, BTC is down 82.2% from its all-time high at 19,500. Don't be scared. Amazon dropped 95% for 2 years. When the price of BTC initially declined to 4,000, many investors suggested the possibility of a further drop below the $4,000 mark, given that a 4,000 BTC was only down 79% from its all-time high. You hear that? Only down. On average, BTC tends to drop 85% during a major correction. You see this? There is a pattern. It has happened in 2011, 2013, and 2015. Like California earthquakes, we are overdue for the big one. And this is the big one. Following BTC's expected drop below the $4,000 mark, traders became more comfortable in finding a short-term bottom in the price trend of BTC. Now, let's go back to these dates, though. What happened after Bitcoin dropped 85% 3 times in the past? It came back bigger than it was the first time, or the last time it happened. So you got to look at this by pulling the microscope back. Forbes, Bloomberg, MSNBC, they don't do that. They're misleading. They're going by December of 2017. They're basing as if Bitcoin started at this price and then came down. If you read their news, that's how they're reporting it. It started here and came down. They're not reporting that it actually started here and has been going up ever since. Even after every 85% correction, they haven't reported that. A cryptocurrency trader and economist, Alex Gruger, said, "Think that was it? Impossible to know if a bottom is a short or long-term bottom. Possible to sense once a major bottom may be in by looking at high-frequency price bars and volume, i.e., when the elastic is ready to snap back. If it swings 15 to 30% off the lows, that's a major bottom in percentage terms." Saka, a technical analyst, emphasized that it is too early to call a short-term bottom for Ethereum, given that it has experienced a significantly steeper drop in comparison to BTC. Really stumped here. That wick could be chalked up to cascading liquidations and thin books, looking for a HL on any retrace to confirm a daily bottom. Saka said, echoing the sentiment of many investors in the market who are cautious towards the short-term trend of the third most valuable cryptocurrency in the global market. So when he's talking about wicks, he's talking about these are, we call these candlesticks. And they can be, you can have them at 5 minute, 15 minute, 2 day, 24 hours, to see what's going on live on the market. Market will need a strong recovery period. The cryptocurrency market has experienced large-scale bear markets in the past. While the infrastructure of the market is drastically different in 2018 with the involvement of major financial institutions, liquidity providers, and regulators, the sheer intensity of the drop of leading cryptocurrencies will likely require a long consolidation period. In layman's terms, it's going to stay low for a while. It's got to chill out for a bit. So you're going to see something like this. If I could pull this chart, compress it, this would be much higher than it's seen on this chart. It's only being compared to this. But back in these days, this number, it was high on the chart. And then it kind of leveled. And it did it for a year and a half, 2 years almost, before taking off again. So it's got to chill out for a bit. In every bubble to build to rally cycle in crypto, newcomers and investors suffer intensely, both psychologically and financially. It is entirely possible for institutional investors to lead the next rally in crypto. There's that word, institutional investors. Okay. The last rises in crypto had nothing to do with institutional/rich people investors. It had to do with retail/broke people investors, poor people. The people is what rallied Bitcoin for the last 9 years. But they're saying this time around, it might be the rich people who do so, the institutional guys that have far more money. And they're currently building the infrastructure right now so that it can support the money they're about to bring on board. That's what that says. But it says it can take some time. All right. It's a good article. Hope you learned something from that one. Edward Snowden. He's still at large. I know he ain't in custody yet. Good afternoon, Anissa. All right. And again, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. All right. Exiled American whistleblower Edward Snowden has weighed in on the conversation surrounding Bitcoin, stating that while the market lodestar will be eventually fade away, the use of cryptocurrencies will not end with Bitcoin. Speaking in an interview with Ben Wisner, director of the ACLU Speech, Privacy, and Technology Report or Project, Snowden said that the belief which supports Bitcoin acting as a global currency will merely transfer itself to other cryptocurrencies instead of dissipating. I agree with that 100%. Bitcoin's not going to go away, but I do not think it's going to be the world's global currency. Responding to a question from Wisner about whether he believes Bitcoin has long-term intrinsic value, Snowden compared Bitcoin to paper fiat money and pointed out that the only difference between fiat and monopoly money is a belief generated by state backing, which essentially boils down to men with guns. That's true. In his view, while Bitcoin and other blockchain-based crypto assets have a severely limited amount of fundamental value, two things in particular ensure that Bitcoin remains viable in the near term. The first, he said, is scarcity. That's true, which is caused by Bitcoin's limited supply of 21 million BTC. This scarcity engenders competition to mine the remaining few million Bitcoin, and that alone gives it a measure of value. The second and more significant factor in his view is the fact that large segments of the general population view it as a bona fide means of exchange. That's true. According to Snowden, this belief in cryptocurrency frameworks as a method of transferring real world monetary value outside of banking networks is transferable and will survive the death of Bitcoin. There won't be a death of Bitcoin. In his words, that belief is how cryptocurrencies move enormous amounts of money across the world electronically without the involvement of banks every single day. One day, capital B Bitcoin will be gone, but as long as there are people out there who want to be able to move money without banks, cryptocurrencies are likely to be valued. That's true and false. Everything he said is true, except that one day Bitcoin will be gone. And here's my reasoning why I say that. Again, you have to understand the psychology of people. When people hear about blockchain or crypto, they only think of one word, Bitcoin. They're not thinking Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, anything else. All they think of is Bitcoin. Name recognition will always win the day. So for Bitcoin to disappear, you would need to have the entire world completely educated on crypto and know that there are better alternatives out there besides Bitcoin. That ain't happening anytime soon. So if I make a statement, I'm going to back up why. So I hope that made sense. But everything else he said is true. Great utility, poor implementation. Snowden, who lives in Russia, after claiming asylum there in 2013, also revealed that despite his prediction of its impending demise, he likes Bitcoin because of the opportunities and possibilities it has created around the world. Using himself as an example, he said, let's say Bank of America doesn't want to process a payment for someone like me. In the old financial system, they've got an enormous amount of clout, as do their peers, and can make that happen. If a teenager in Venezuela wants to get paid in a hard currency for a web development gig they did for someone in Paris, something prohibited by local currency controls, cryptocurrencies can make it possible. Bitcoin may not yet really be private money, but it is the first free money. That is true. It is the first free money. Going further, however, he criticized the existing blockchain hashing paradigm, stating that neither of the two main hashing methods are great and new ones should be developed. I agree. Without mincing words, he described proof of work as an environmentally destructive activity, slanted in favor of the rich, and proof of stake as a direct handout to the rich in the hope that their greed will keep the system running. I'm not sure about that, but I'm open to debate on it. But everything else he said is true. But I do believe Bitcoin will be here for long. You know, in other words, in layman's terms, what he's saying here about hashing power and that it's not very great right now. Well, I mean, where crypto is right now is where the internet was in the 90s. Try letting Netflix stream videos in 1995. That ain't gonna happen. We were on AOL dial-up. The technology wasn't there yet. It was still growing. So what he's saying may be true today, but that doesn't mean that's where it's going to be tomorrow. Netflix overtook Blockbuster. Google overtook Yahoo. Yahoo's still there. Facebook overtook MySpace. Is MySpace still out there? I think the last time I tried to log into my MySpace account was maybe 15 years ago. So there will be better technology that comes about. That's inevitable. All right, last article up. And I'm going to give some words of encouragement here. I just feel, I'm an energy person, and I can feel some vibe and tension among the ranks. Some uncertainty, some doubt, some fear. Let me see if I can assuage that in a second. Best ways to convert Bitcoins to cash. Since all of the uninformed, uneducated people are panicking and selling all their Bitcoin right now, I might as well tell you how to do so, get some cash. Let's see. Do you want to cash out your Bitcoins? Is it time to book some profit and convert your Bitcoins to traditional bills? Slow but steady, everyone in the world is getting caught up in the novel idea of Bitcoin. And the most asked question continues to be, have you invested in Bitcoin yet? And why not? Considering it is better than gold and traditional fiat currency, and not to mention it is in limited supply and is subject to various economic laws that suggest its failure growth too. I have covered that aspect of Bitcoin in my previous article too, what determines the value of Bitcoin. However, I would like to reiterate in the words of the first Bitcoin evangelist, Trace Mayer, gold is sound money and limited in supply, but it doesn't move well. The dollar moves well, but is not limited in supply. Bitcoin moves well and is limited in supply, which is why it has been out competing both since its creation in 2009. That is a great quote right there. That is a great quote. I'll be saving that one. It is only natural for it to grow in its value over time, irrespective of what the pundits say, and when its bound is to increase in its value, the obvious question of realizing your profits come in. For realizing the profits, one needs to sell BTC in exchange for fiat cash as acceptable in their native countries. Hence, I think it is apt to talk about questions that come to mind while selling Bitcoins for cash. How to convert Bitcoins into dollars or any other fiat currency, and how to redeem Bitcoins for cash. So how do you turn it into cash? There are some easy ways to convert BTC into US dollars, some of which are listed below. However, before you pick any of the listed methods, you need to find out how you want to receive your cash. You can sell Bitcoins in person for cash, or you can sell it on exchanges and get the money directly deposited into your bank account. You also have the option to spend your Bitcoin to buy stuff from Amazon using services like purse.io. However, I assume for now, you want to sell your Bitcoins and get hard cash in person or directly in your bank account. So number one, via fiat accepting exchanges. The easiest way is to find out fiat accepted exchanges in your country. You can then sell them your Bitcoins in exchange for cash. Some of the exchanges that allow you to do so are Coinbase, BitMEX, Kraken, Bitfinex, Bitflyer, Bitstamp, and then India only, Wazer, and BitBNS. So those are exchanges that you can sell your Bitcoin for cash. I stay far away from Coinbase and doing that. I haven't tried using BitMEX, Kraken, or Bitfinex yet, or even Bitstamp. So I understand that all of the above options might not work globally because the cash system varies from country to country. For such sellers, there is another option of P2P selling, buying of Bitcoins via local Bitcoins. That's localbitcoins.com. Local Bitcoins is a Bitcoin startup based out of Helsinki, Finland, which has been operating since 2012. It is a P2P Bitcoin exchange. It has on-ground buyers and sellers in more than 15,000 cities across 248 countries. Chances are you will find a buyer in your country via local Bitcoin. Now you got to be careful with that. I know some people got arrested doing that. The beauty of local Bitcoins is that you dealing with the buyer directly, and you can receive money in any of the supported formats: bank deposit, PayPal, Payoneer, or cash. When it comes to converting Bitcoin into fiat, local Bitcoin is one of the most preferred choices of those who don't want to use an exchange. That is true. I just always been skeptical of local Bitcoins. I might need to revisit them. Got too much money coming through now. You can meet buyers, sellers online and execute a future trade offline. You can either pay in cash or wire the amount. You can also choose from various other options like PayPal or SEPA or directed bank deposits for converting Bitcoins into cash, all depending on the buyer seller. You can simply filter your country based on the payment mode you want to choose. Just so you know, all the fees here is set by the seller, while local Bitcoins acts as an escrow manager. Caution, be sure to check the reputation of the buyer seller. A higher reputation means a more trustable buyer seller. Local Bitcoins is surely the easiest way for the resident of any country to redeem their Bitcoin for cash. Number 3, convert BTC into USTD like digital fiat. USDT, I don't know why I said TD. If you are not in a hurry of converting your Bitcoin into fiat currency of your country, and also want to avoid your tax liabilities for some time, you can convert Bitcoin into Tether. Using Tether has its benefits when compared to dealing in dollars or euro if you plan to buy Bitcoins later. Moving cash in and out of your bank account regularly makes you accountable and may add to your taxes. Also, you need to worry about the volatility of cryptocurrencies when you switch to Tether because Tether always maintains parity with actual US dollars. Hence, maintaining its value at $1 per Tether always. See there? This guy gets it. This will also reduce your headache of always transferring in fiat currencies to exchanges to buy Bitcoin because US Tether can be used to buy Bitcoins later if you want. And the good thing about Tether is that unlike many fiat exchanges, Tether is supported by many exchanges across the world. Many of these exchanges are listed below. I have used this feature of intermediate conversion to Tether myself. I have as well. Bitfinex, Binance, Qcoin, Cryptopia, Bittrex, Gate.io. So in conclusion, converting Bitcoin into cash. These are some popular ways of converting your Bitcoins into USD or respective fiat cash of your country. We will very soon be coming up with a list of country-wise options for selling and buying Bitcoins, which will make your life easier when exchanging Bitcoins into cash. When you encash your Bitcoins to cash or exchange your Bitcoins to cash, keep in mind the taxes. If it's a large sum, you need to pay taxes. You can use a tool like coin tracking to calculate tax on your Bitcoin selling profits. Another way to turn your Bitcoin into cash is by selling Bitcoins to your friends and family. I highly am against that. I don't recommend doing that. But anyways, you can. If your reason is to take some profit and not because you don't feel confident about the future of Bitcoin, selling Bitcoins directly to your friends and family is an ideal choice. This will also help them to get started with Bitcoin, and both of you will save on the transaction middleman fees. However, this route is taken only by a few, see? As we have recommended earlier, that you should not disclose your Bitcoin investment and holding to anyone, sometimes even especially family. We intend to start with the following countries first to include some third world countries. Okay, I don't care about that. All right, that is it for early morning crypto talk, and I want to ease some of the minds of the heavy hearts out there today. And your heart may be heavy for many different reasons. One reason is you bought Bitcoin when it was at $15,000 and the price of it dropped. You're just now getting started in the crypto space and you feel you might have missed the boat. You're a good-hearted person and you want to help as many people as possible, but they just won't do for themselves. You may even feel overwhelmed that just because you now know a little bit of something, everybody's pulling on you to help them out. And you feel overwhelmed and taxed. You may be in a situation where you now are starting to understand the seriousness of this. And you have absolutely no idea where to get started, who to talk to, who can hold your hand. These, among many different things, can weigh on an individual. Here is how I handle these because I have felt every single one of them. Even thought, man, I wish I had $100,000 that I can invest with right now because I know how to flip that to $1 million. I wish I had $1 million because I know how to flip that to 10 million. I wish I didn't buy Bitcoin at 12,000, even though I kind of knew it was going to drop even more. You know, there's many different things. How about the weight of starting a company and you're looking around to your left and your right and nobody else is willing to step up? So you step up out of necessity. There's many different things that can hold an individual back. And I'm here to tell you all of those things are in your mind. It's in your own head. You've got to get out of in front of yourself. Move out of your own way. What is the solution to all of these ailments? Number one is education. An educated mind is empowered. An educated mind is able to see the forest from the trees. Or is it the opposite? The trees and the forest? I don't know. An educated mind is able to navigate obstacles that come your way. An educated mind, it cannot be taken from you once you've got the knowledge. So the number one thing is education. That is why we went back to the basics and created KGX. KGX is not the solution. Yes, there will be people that go through KGX and still can't figure it out. That ain't KGX's fault. It is not your fault. And it's not up to you to solve that problem for that individual. It's the beginning. Education's first. Here's the second thing, and this is the most difficult. Although, you know what? Maybe the education part is the most difficult because many people just won't even begin the race. But once you do begin it, let me tell you what's the most difficult. It's the taking action part. It's stepping onto the playing field. It's putting some skin in the game. It's the ability to take calculated risk. It's the ability to lose and not get phased, to check your emotions. You have a game plan in place. And in your game plan, know that it's not going to 100% work out the way you have it down on paper. In fact, I can 100% guarantee you that it won't. That's just your guiding post. That's why I state, you got to put down, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? You've got to be prepared for the pitfalls. If you're playing football, the quarterback gets a play from the coach. The quarterback gets down there on the 10-yard line, looks at the defense, and realizes that the defense knows what they're about to do, and the quarterback has to call an audible on the field. Change up the play on the fly. Your ability to call audibles. That's something I always struggle with because I'm a planning type person. I got a plan, I stick to it. I got a schedule, I stick to it because I can control that. I learned not to sweat the things I cannot control. I learned that skill. But it kills me, or not kills me, it frustrates me when things happen that are not in my control. It frustrates me like no other. But I don't let it paralyze me. You keep moving forward. That's the last thing, among no else. Keep moving forward. My partner had asked me, Brandon, how can I be a good leader? How can I get my team to do this? I said, you know the best way for you to do? You have to lead by example. Lead by example. You can't take care of other people until you've taken care of yourself. And you're not going to be able to save everybody. But you will be able to sleep at night knowing that you gave everybody a chance and an opportunity. It is up to them as an adult to take the next step, the next level. They can do exactly what you did. It's a choice, like the Matrix. Take the red pill, take the blue pill. So you want to be an effective leader, a person of influence in the crypto space. You want to become I don't like to use the word expert in crypto, but somebody that's sought after. Education key, and then take action and lead by example and put all your time not into those who need it, but into those who want it, those who are willing to step forward. You should not be. Here's one thing. I do not run 90 yards and the other person's only going to give me 10. That ain't happening. And I had to learn this trick too. At best, I'm giving you 50. I'll meet you halfway there. As time grows, you're going to have to run 80% to me, and I'll give you my 20 because you're making that effort. Time is money. So I hope that helped those of you that might be struggling internally right now, for whatever reason. And I'm speaking from experience. This is what I've learned in 20 years of network marketing this week will be my 20th anniversary on the network marketing side. Over going on to my 2.5, almost 3 years of exposure to crypto side. Wow. Everything happened the way I wanted to? Absolutely not. But here's one thing that I do know. What we got for 2019, what we're preparing for, those who do not take advantage and get themselves ready right now are going to be left behind, and they're going to feel silly come next year. I am super excited for what the future holds. The only thing I'm looking for is who's ready to run with me. Because I will run far away from those who complain. I have no room for complainers or people that have excuses and worriers. You bring down my spirit and energy. Get away from me. People who make it happen. That's what I like. All right. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, that is the point. Looking forward to the Blockchain Expo this week. Let me tell you what I'm looking for at the Expo, just to give you guys a heads up, because I've been to this type before. I already know 50% or more of the booths I saw in London will not be here this time. I already know that. Number two, and this gave me, so I remember when I was first getting started out, I was telling Jairus, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can be doing these crypto talks, talking about crypto. I don't feel like I'm an expert on this just yet. And then I go to London and I realized the people on stage didn't even know what the heck they were talking about. I'm like, I got this. So I'm not looking to listen to the best speakers at this event. I didn't get the VIP. I got the free ticket. I'm an observer. I want to walk around the floor. I want to look at what new businesses have come up in the last 6 months. I want to feel the energy from the crowd, especially now that Bitcoin dropped by 70-something%. I want to see how they're reacting. I want to see the size of the audience. It's always great for people to come to the party when there's something to cheer for. But what do you do when it seems like things aren't going your way? Who's going to show up? I want to meet those people because those people are looking at this the right way, long term. So those businesses are the ones I'm going to be writing down in my notebook. All right, let me watch out for that company, invest in this one and that one. That's what I want to do. I'm a people watcher, not a people person. I don't like being around large crowds, but I like to observe. That's what I'm going to be doing. So anybody that's going to be in the Blockchain Expo, make sure you let me know. We can all hook up. You go to dinner or something, walk around the thing. You're not going to be able to tie me down. I'm at the Blockchain Expo on a mission. All right, so I don't have time to just be sitting in one spot all day. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it. And then when I come back, this is actually, I'm calling it like my vacation week. But when I come back, we're now going into December. Now I will really be preparing for 2019. When everybody takes vacation in December because of Christmas and all that, no, we're going to do the opposite. Getting ready for 2019. The cell phone wars that's about to come upon us. The new technology that the blockchain is going to expose. The product and services that KGX will be rolling out. New website, new back office, residual income component. Call that Cadillac money without needing to recruit. It's very, very exciting. And I expect to have rebuild a completely brand new team An old mentor said, you cannot raise the dead, and you're not going to grow grass by watering the mud. New blood, planting new seeds. I'm looking for new business partners, new energy. Those in the past can come along for the ride, but they will not hold me back. So with that, you guys have a great day. I will see you all tonight for Late Night Crypto Talk, especially if something very important takes place in the crypto space. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.